We're talking with Fabia Sensei, who in 2002 founded the Society of Aikido Centers. It's currently in Richardson, Texas at the Center for Dance. Her website is linfabia.com. Lynn, you've been involved in Aikido for over 40 years. How did you get into Aikido?
Well, at that time, I didn't know Aikido existed. And sometimes people ask me, did you find Aikido or did Aikido find you? Well, we found each other. I felt that urge to start martial arts. And I followed up on that urge that I had, that feeling. But when I started I was still searching. So the first place was a Kenpo karate school. And I knew I wanted mental aspects. So after about 4 months, I was just wondering, I never heard them talk about mental aspects. And I asked the teacher, the instructor, do you teach the mental aspects? No. Are you going to teach them in advanced class? No. And then I said, this is not what I was looking for. I knew I didn't belong there. And that's an important thing that we're going to talk about, knowing where you belong. Okay? Because I had an idea of what I wanted. Then I went to another school. And I didn't belong there either. However, the teacher there had a small library of books, and I started looking at the books, and I picked up a book called The Sugar Blues by William Duffy, and it changed my life because it was about nutrition, and I knew I needed to work in that area, and so that was a big plus right there. But somebody there told me they could tell I didn't fit there. They said, you should do Aikido. I think that's the martial art for you. And I said, what's Aikido? Well, I went to the library and did some research, and I still couldn't understand because it wasn't based on size or physical strength. And I didn't have that, but I couldn't figure out how it worked. It's all from the center. So it was pretty foreign to me. And because of that, I added more resistance in my learning because I couldn't relax. I kept thinking everything was physical. And when I came in, I looked, everybody was taller than me and outweighed me. I said, how is this gonna work? So once I stopped resisting, and then I told myself, I'm just gonna not try to figure this out. I'm a beginner, and that's the level that I am, and I'm just going to be quiet when I go to class, and I'm just going to start to feel the energy. And then that was the turning point. So I really got more involved in what they were talking about. I could just feel it now because I couldn't analyze this anymore. And after that, it was not only I really love the movement. It's very dance-like because I like dance-like movements, okay? It was mentally stimulating. It also had a spiritual aspect to it because the founder of Aikido was the most one of the most spiritual teachers in martial arts that ever walked this earth, they would say. And so I got all three, the spirit, the mind, and the body, which is what I was looking for. So I think when you're if you're going and you're shopping, looking for a martial arts, if you want competition, Aikido doesn't compete. I didn't want competition. I wanted development, self-development. And so this is important to know what you want because people go, how do you know? Well, you have to know, you have to have an idea of what you're looking for. You can't just go into a store and just pick up anything you're not going to use. You have to find out, do I want competition? Do I want a fighting art? I didn't want that. So this was going to be the right fit. And as I kept doing it later, after 20 years, I thought, I would like to teach this. And that was a creation. There's a fork in the road. One path could lead to destruction, the other path could lead to creation. You always want creation. And so that was a creation. And then in 2002, I was ready to create my organization, the Society of Aikido Centers. And so I didn't know what the name was going to be for this. But what I did, and I was asking other people, students, give me some names and let me see, I have to have the right name. And I thought, wait a minute, why am I asking them? Before I went to bed to sleep, I asked the universe, please give me a name that would be fitting for my organization. And the very next morning when I woke up, I saw it in white letters, Society of Aikido Centers. And of course it appears on our patch that was created for the organization. So sometimes we forget to ask because it's not just given to us, we have to ask for it. So I did that in 2002, and then now I'm currently teaching, yes, at the Center for Dance in Richardson, Texas, and it's a good fit for us. Sometimes you go to places, you know, it isn't there, so you have to keep searching. You don't just stop, you keep searching for the right, you know, for what's fitting, you know. So that's how it started.